Hi everyone, welcome today to our training for the annual budget tracker. So today I will guide you how to use the tracker and how this tracker will help you to manage your finance, control your spend, watch out if you are crossing your budget, check your stock portfolio, and this is a really one of the good tools that has been added to this tracker, and it's a live tool that it's connected with the Google Finance that you can add the stock name and then leave the tracker to calculate your gain and loss. And on the dashboard you will have something to show like as worst performer, top performer, the stock portfolio, the market value, the total profit, etc. So I will show you exactly how to key in all of your data and to be easy for you how to use it once you download it. So first of all, thank you for downloading this tracker. I really appreciate it. If you need any support or any help or any questions, reach out to me. I always respond within 1 to 2 hours from the message that I have been received. So let's start. I'll start first with the setup sheet. So in this sheet, you need to put or enter the start date, whatever the start date you want. So for example, I will put 2/28 2026, which is today date, always in all the sheet, on all the tabs. When you enter the date, please follow the format, which is uh, month, day, and year. Then you will have 30 currencies selections. Select from here whatever you would like to use, USD or AUD. Because I live in Australia, I will select AUD. Here you need to add two things, manual income categories and manual expense category. And while I call them manual, because there will be other category that will be populated automatically when you key in your recurring or repeated transactions. Because once you put the recurring and you connect it with the date, the sheet will automatically calculate the monthly target for this category. So here, anything that is not included in the recurring sheet, you need to include it here. So you just type side hustle $50, and here you will have groceries, the monthly target, it's 1000, eating out 350, entertainment 1200, anything you can type here and you have unlimited. So don't worry about that. Just in order for layout, just I keep it short, but you can add there whenever you want. Here, the other categories, which is any category that doesn't fit into income or manual or expenses. So I know it's a tricky, but example for that, it's credit card payment. So at the end of your cycle, for a credit card cycle, you always pay off all of your credit card. So if you like, I am the one like that. So I never paid interest on the credit card. So I use it, and at the end of the month, I pay off all of my loan, if I can say, for the credit card. So I pay only the money that I have spent exactly dollar for dollar. So that's not considered as an expense because you already expense or put all of your transactions in the transaction sheet or in the recurring sheet. So you pay off the bank the amount that you were using. Unless there is an interest, then you need to add it as an expense here. So hopefully that's clear. So now let's go to a transaction. So why I told you that you need to add here in the income or the expense, because whenever you want to add anything manually, any transaction, you need to have a drop-down category, and you will not find any thing here apart from the category that you entered 1, 2, 3 and the category that you entered in the recurring. So the sheet is smart to check all of these places to see where is the category. So imagine that you have spent in fuel today around $500 to fill your car. So again, follow the format, month, date or day, and year. Then here you will go to find fuel. Then that's all populated automatically. Then the account, which account you used, Amex card or credit card. So here, to account, you only use it when the category is yellow, which is a transfer. So the sheet here will read if you put anything related to transfer, then that will be yellow. So anything that you consider, you like, if anytime you do a transfer between your bank accounts, so for example, you pay your credit card, so you transfer the money from saving account to the credit account, then that's a transfer, and it should not be has a plus or a minus transaction. It should be a zero transaction. What I mean by zero, so there is a transaction happened, but that's not affect your wealth or your current bank account because you're paying off your expenses and you already accounted that transactions when you were paying using your credit card. So just to explain to you exactly, here is in the bank account as it is. Here's all of your bank accounts. So first, in the transaction here, whenever you populated the account, that is connected with the bank account. So when you ever need to add any bank account, you come here, type it, then it will be populated to the transaction and all the other sheets. So always when you add the bank account, it should be here. Even if you have a cash, you can enter it here as a cash. So here we have Amex card, liability, then situation Amex, then the started account 0. Here you don't fill anything, just leave it as it is. Um, so I always have a heads up that whenever it's pop up like that, so you do not mean to put anything here. While if you done anything here, that's fine. It will not have any warning to you. So then you understand where you can enter the data and where you can't enter the data. So let's let me explain to you the transaction or the transfer thing. So we have all of these accounts. So if you sum all of the current status, it will be 19,789. And I will transfer money from the saving account to the credit account. So here's 33,070, here 99,059. So if I go to transaction, today date, then I pay my credit card again, credit card payment, just put 5,000. Then you say we said from saving account then to credit card. So if we go to the bank account here, we sum everything here, again, similar, 19,789, while the credit card and the saving account has been, the credit card account and the saving account have been altered or changed, while the total will be the same. So just to correct myself one thing, which is my bad. So here's the other category. It's for a transfer. It's not for income or expense. So it's correct whether it's not income or expense, but it's like a transfer. You put it here. So if I put HHH and I go to transaction here, if I enter H, then it will be yellow transfer because this one is for the transfer. So I will transfer categories. Okay, my bad. Okay, so, and one thing, when you delete anything, just press delete one time in order to not delete or alter or impact any functions in the sheets. So that's clear for the transaction. Let's go for the recurring sheet. So always you can hover over between the sheets from here. So recurring sheets, all the payments that is repeated on on cycle, either daily, monthly, weekly, yearly. So maybe all of your payment is repeated. It's up to you how you manage your transactions or manage your spend. So I added here several things, but things that you need to consider here. In the type, you have four main types: expense, income, sinking fund, and debt. Expense and debt consider as expense or money out, income, money in. Sinking fund is a saving account or saving goals, sorry, and that's considered as a transfer that there is in yellow. So what you need to add here, you start, for example, I need to add an income, and I have um, salary, and it's $2,000, and it's fortnightly, and it starts from today until 2 years, for example. I signed the contract for 2 years. So one thing you need to consider, here's the column H and I. So you have two columns here, H and I, and these for sinking funds only. So you should not fill them unless you are filling a sinking funds or a saving goals in other way. So here we add the income, so we don't need to add anything, just where the salary will be transferred to, its main checking. So just put there here. Then the recurring sheet is connected with the payment. So you will have here the payment sheet that you have here in the column A, that check boxes, the notification, paid, upcoming, date, the date for the payment to be due. Here is the name you entered in the recurring. So let me just adjust that because I already have our ads. Just it's a different name. Just I want to show you how this works. So payment, the name, then the category. We have four category: amount, account, to account that's related to saving or sinking funds, and then the adjustment if you need to adjust it, and total paid that will add the amount plus the adjustment that you have included here. So another thing here um, you have the expenses. So here you will find four squares, and each square represent the category. So for example, expenses. So you have 40 expenses that are due, and the total it's equal to 5,919. And the bills that it's urgent that's due now or today, it's the car gas. So and what's the good about it that it will change the color of the row for the overdue payment. So let's filter the one that we already enter, which is salary 1234, because we already have one, so that's the reason um, I changed the name. So here it's due soon, which is because of today. If you remember when we entered to the recurring, we entered for 2 years fortnightly, which means around 50 transaction. So if you sum these transaction, it's around 53. So I was almost clear. So just I want to show you one thing. If you go to the calendar and you can change, like you select the month that you want to check, and here you can select the year as well. And then here you have two checkbox, paid, overdue, and you can uh, check, like you can put the filter that you would like. So just I want to check the overdue, and I will remain in February. Just I want to show you how it's updated. So here it says um, the salary 1234 2000 is it due today, which is 28th of February 2026. So if I go to I will leave it as there, and I go to payment, and if I click here, then that will change in the calendar. it's disappeared because you already paid it. Pay. Here's salary 1234 has been paid. And just a quick to show you how it's all connected. If you go to monthly budget, and here is salary 1234 and the actual income 2000 because we clicked in the checkbox in the payment. So whenever you put in the recurring is more automated for you. You need just check here and click in the checkbox whenever you paid any payment. So that's for transaction and for payment and recurring sheet. Let me. Okay, guys. Last warning for the recurring sheet that I just want to make it clear for you, and please follow that instruction, otherwise it will affect your data entry here. Whenever you entered a recurring payment and you already checkbox the paid, so if you wanted to remove it or you change the start or the frequency or the end date, be careful when you do that. Otherwise, it will affect the sheet dramatically. So, for example, here, just want to show you here in the expenses, we have 50 payment equals to 8,946. So imagine that I want to delete this recurring, which is the sinking fund in new phone. So just I want to show how it will impact. So I delete the row. Then if we check the payment here again, you see it has been increased to 51 because when you delete the lines from here, then there is no function that will automatically remove the checkbox from here. So the only option that you have, if you don't want that transaction anymore, um, the only thing that you can do is changing the date, changing the name and keep the frequency as it is and keep the start date as it is and change the end date. You can change the end date. Otherwise, you can still do it. You can delete it, but you need to go to check payment per payment and check which has been impacted and which has not been impacted. So in order to move that checkbox. So please, I try to do it. My aim goal is to make it automated, full automated for you. But believe me, there is no other function that can fix that issue. So whenever you entered any recurring payment, make sure that this is the right one. Yeah, that's it for the recurring sheet. Let me go to dashboard and explain to you around the dashboard. So here you will have eight main card, the total income. So first here is the filter for the time span, which is month and year. I always recommend to select 1 year and check your data within that year, which is more um, easier for you. But if you want to see for the whole 3, 4 years, then you have that opportunity as well. So here is the years filter that you can, it's a checkbox, easy friendly dashboard. That's the total asset that's read from the bank account because all the transaction is connected to the bank account. So the total assets is 142,000. The total liabilities is 120,000, and the net worth is the difference. Here is another metric that you always need to consider is debt to cash ratio, and which means that how much liabilities you have equal to the total assets. So in this in this scenario, we are in 85%, which is bad because you have total liabilities equal to 80% of your cash. Here, this is the saving over the year of 2026, because I already put some data in February and March, April of 2026. So don't worry, it's only a random value. If you remove them, that will be updated. So here, saving over the year. In January, it says that we saved $9,000. In February, we saved $7,000. while in July we overspent 2,830. Here is the total income habit in that year, and that's the total expenses, that's the total saving, and remaining budget. So what's remaining budget means? It means that, so that should be down here. So when you enter the recurring and the transaction and the setup, and along with the monthly or the monthly target spend, here's the sheet will paste all of the categories along with the budget. So the sheet here, based on all of the data you have entered, and you mentioned that, for example, the Netflix is $25 per month, which year $300. If I select another year, that will go to 600. So, which means that you are in a good position because you did not spend based on the budget that you have. But again, that's a random data. When you put your own data, that will all different. So here is what that means. The budget progress bar, it's a green because we are 100,000, but we spend only 17,000, which is in a good space. While if it's red, then you are in a bad way. Here is the total budget, which is equal to that, 124,000. The actual, which always similar to total expenses. And the biggest expense here is the online shopping. And this table have categories in details, each category name along with the budget and the actual, then the difference. If you cross the budget, for example, in water utility, you cross the budget by $100, then it says over and the color change to the red color. Other thing that I want to explain here is the expenses per category that will list all of your expenses um, and where your money go, like just a snap. For example, here rent consider 35%, online shopping consider around 35%. So that's another chart that you can view. Here, my target budget, that's related to the budget as well. So that's when you have multiple category. I just recommend you to expand it so you can view it in a nice way. So here, we can take it more as well. Yeah. So here the total budget again 124,500, which is equal to this number. Then it will tell you exactly where your budget where you already bought. So for online shopping, you say that you want to spend 30,000. For the rent as well, for the car service, all of that. So yeah, that's another high level view. So you can return it back to make your dash nice and clean. Okay. That's all for the dashboard related to the spend budget transactions. Now I want to talk you to show you the sinking fund. So if we go to the recurring and again here, so I want to minimize the data entry for you. I can create one big sheet that will have for the sinking fund, but it doesn't need. I can put everything together. So in the transaction sheet, or in the recurring sheet that you use for expenses and income, you can put the sinking fund as well. And then the dashboard will update it based on your data. So if I have a goal that I want to buy new clothes, for example, I know it's stupid, but just that's what came to my mind. And I said, because I'm going for a holiday after 8 months, so I want to have at least 2 to 3 thousand to buy a new clothes. I don't want to use any cloth that I have. So I will say that I will save $300 on a monthly basis, and it will start today until October. Then, from where the money will be transferred from main checking, and here you see the target amount that's changed to be gray color, not red color, which means that it should be filled. So I'm based on that target or based on the entries that I have entered, I'm going to save 2,700. If I need more, 350. Yeah, 3,150. That's enough for me. Then to my saving account. So if I go to dashboard, to the sinking fund here, new clause, target value 3,500, current stash 0, remaining gap similar, nothing has been updated. And number of pays left, 9. So if you transfer the money, how you transfer it, you go to the payment sheet and remove the filter, clear, select all, clear, pause. Yeah, it's here now. So today I transfer the money from my saving account, from mint checking to saving account. So I click, that will be reflected everywhere in the sheet and also will be reflected in the dashboard. If you go scroll down, new clause 3,150, $350, remaining 2,800, and the number of days left, 8 payments. Now let me um talk you through the dipped engine, which is another masterpiece or one of the best sheets I really worked on. So here the sheet is fully automated. That will show you how, and that will calculate your payoff for your debts. And if you have multiple debts, it will help you based on the strategy that you select how you pay your debts on a monthly basis, and it's fully automated. So I'll remove this one here. Always please delete one time. So we have these 9 loan. I want to add another loan, for example, wedding loan, personal loan. I had $100,000 and it was 5%, and I can 5%, 5%. Then I can pay $400 per month, and that will be added here. So wedding loan, and I will pay it off in June 2040 because I have multiple loans. So here you need to put your current strategy, avalanche, everything will be changed. You know what's the difference, snowball and the avalanche. One pay the high starting balance and the other start paying the high percentage. Custom, if you want to have your own custom, then you need to put here, I will start with this one, then that will be number 4, number 6, number 7, number 3, whatever you want. But keep it now avalanche. And here you can play with the start date. If it was in 2025, you start your loans. You mean that you paid all of these payments so far. And here you have the opportunity to monthly repayment to adjust the payment minus or plus. So if you say, for example, if you pay one time, that's minus, sorry. If you pay 250, 205,000, 200, $2,500 extra, that will be reflected on the sheet as well. Then that, if you go to dashboard, here again, you will have the current starting tips 1.6 million, total paid so far because we leave it as 2025. You paid 635,000, the total paid 575,000, the total projected interest 170,000, The debt-free date, which is the last month that you will pay debt, is in Jan 2023, and the number of month left is 83. So that's all about the debt engine, which will definitely help you to pay your loans. Okay, now the other thing that I want to show you the investment sheet. That's the forecast investments, and this is you can put all of your investments that have a capital gain, which fixed capital gain, for example, annual return 8%, 2%, 5%, then what you need to fill here the start date, and all of the start date will be connected here. If you have a different start date for different project, then you just override the function here. You need to start with the initial lump sum, the monthly deposit, and the annual return, and then the years, how many years that you bought that that investment. And then here everything will be adjusted, and here is the chart for the wealth mountain. And also here you can put extra deposit as well for each investment. So for example, if you want to add $200 here, then that's will reflected and as well in these sheets and these projects. That's for the forecast investment. Here is the manual investment, which is the investment that it's not a stocks or related to annual capital gain. For example, if you bought an apartment in Paris, the location is in Paris, and the currency, the original currency was in euro, and you bought it in 12th of December 2025, and the initial cost was 200,000 euro because that was the currency that you have bought. And here that will change to the cost that you bought in the setup, which is Australian dollar. That will change the initial cost 3,320. And then the current valuation that you need to enter, which is, for example, it's now equal to 250,000 euro. Again, it follow this currency. Then the current value, which is in AUD, that will transfer this amount to Australian dollar. Then here's the gain loss, how much you gain so far, and this is the return on investment. Now, the the lovely tool that I really love it. Here, you can add all of your stocks that you have bought so far or you invest. So, for example, let's go to Google and, for example, search for Microsoft stock. Yeah, so Microsoft stock, it's MSFT. Then you need only in the asset name, sorry, in the ticker, just put that one and then it will find it. So Microsoft. So for example, you bought 50 or 40 and you paid $350. And then here, the total cost will be changed based on the setup currency that you selected. The live price, if you check here, 392, that's automated. You don't need to enter anything. Net value, how much money, what is the market value for this one now, based on the live price, and that will be updated based on the price as well. And then the gain loss, which is 2,400 so far you have made, and it's the return of investment is 12%. Okay, so you keep entering all of your stocks here, and that will be live automated connected with the Google Finance. Here is the market value. That's only for these two businesses. So that's will sum all of these here, which is sorry, that's the market value, which is 165,000. That's for the stocks, and 415,000. That's for the other businesses. This is the invested with total profit for both businesses. So if you go to dashboard here, Here you will have the investment bar, and here's the stock portfolio, the market value, total profit so far, top performer, return of investment, worst performer, and the percentage of loss. Here's the wealth mountain, that's for the forecast investment, that's for all of the businesses, and here's how your money will grow. And this is the other businesses, which is the apartment in Paris that we were just talking about. Now I want to show you the yearly the yearly hub. Yeah. So yearly hub, this is a high level view of all the transactions in a selected year. You can select multiple years, but again, I recommend always to select 1 year. And this is the chart which show you the expenses and the income happened in the year. And it's only for you to see the trend. You see, this is the light lane. In the green, that's for the income, and this is the red that you're going down. So you need to check why. And here is the list of all of the income that happened in a month during that selected year, along with the expenses and also for the saving and calls. And here is the net saving per year. That's consider summation all of the expenses and the income. You always can, I love for this sheet. So what I will do, I selected Control B, selected and fit to it, and I will print it and I will read my transactions in one paper and start circling where is the big hit. So I love that. It's up to you what you want to do, but I love that. So that's the Yuli Hub. And also you can print the smart calendar. So you can select it, Control B, selected cell, and you can print it out to to manage your payment as well. The last thing that I want to show you, which is the monthly budget, which I really love it because that's well, again, you can select the years, but I recommend only to check month per month. So if we remove all the months, so let's select year 2026 and check February. Here it would say you how much income that you get in February, how much the expenses, what is the remaining to spend, which is 7,000, which you are in a really good shape, and the saving rate, which is 1%. That's consider how much you saved based on the expenses. So here, this is the expenses breakdown where you were spending the money. Netflix, rent consider half of your budget. Here is the top 5 expense driver, which is rent, car services, dentist, pet food, SIM card plan, and here's the income sources from bonus, from salary, stock profit, side hustle, rental income, former profit, online businesses, and salary 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will explain to you one thing after I finish now. So here's the budget utilization. So in red, that is your monthly budget, and in blue, that's the actual expenses. So here it will show you what's the good about that here. For example, rent, you are already within the limit, so you didn't cross your limit. While the dentist, the blue is higher than the red, so you already crossed the limit. So then you understand why you cross your budget this time. And this is a high level a table that will list all of your expenses, monthly budget, actual expenses, difference between the actual and the monthly budget. Here is the progress. If it's in green, that you are good, you use it. One, don't go above that. 192, you're still in green, almost 92. One, here, zero, okay. Here you are okay because you almost spend 38% of your spend. So that's the total explanation and how you manage this tracker, this master of beast sheet. I really spend around 3 months building. from scratch by myself. I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy that I was able to um, create something from scratch. The only thing that I want to explain to you, investment is not connected to the transaction and payment, because this is only showing the actual gain that you have. But when it's a transaction that, for example, you sold that, then you will add it to the transaction, then that will reflect on the transaction sheet or the recurring sheet. Same apply to the debt engine. All of these monthly payment will not be added. You need to add it. So for example, here you see that you are going to pay um, like the total exposure that you are going to pay is 7,982. So when that month come and it's crossed and it has been deducted from your bank account, you go to transaction and record it here. So that's the way how it works for the debt and investment. Anyway, if you need any help, any support, guys, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to support you. Thank you.